All right, we're back. So I just went ahead and put us in a 12-man team league. This is not a tournament. This is just a 12-man team league. Payout is to the top three members of the league at the end of the year. We have picked two. Usually these take a while to fill up, so I just threw myself in one, and turns out it actually was pretty quick this time. So we're already in one, ready to go. I hope everyone out there is having a good holiday weekend. Hope you have some fun plans, good food scheduled, all of that. I don't pick at pick two very often, so I'm not really sure who I want to go with here. I'm assuming he's going to go Jonathan Taylor. I'm just between Christian McCaffrey and Cooper Cup, which I really should take Christian McCaffrey, huh? I don't think I have very much exposure to him at all. And if he stays healthy all year and doesn't get injured, then that will be a huge mistake. So, what we're gonna do is we're going to take him. I almost switched it up on you guys and took Cooper Cup there last second, but I really do want to take Christian McCaffrey this time and just have some skin in that game just in case he does pop off. And even if he doesn't do his normal, I don't even know how many points. I think he had like 300. I'm not even gonna say a number because I'm not really sure how much points he had in his highest season. But if he has anything close to that, then I want a piece of that action. Usually in the top four picks, I either go Jonathan Taylor or Justin Jefferson because I do think that Justin Jefferson takes a step ahead of Cooper Cup this year and establishes himself as the number one receiver overall in the entire league. I truly believe that will happen. So I have been taking Justin Jefferson more than I've been taking Cooper Cup. But every time before this time that we were at pick two, we did go with Cooper Cup though. But usually I think I have more drafts in the 3-4 range than I do at pick two. Let's see. I cannot wait for this football season to get started. I'm so obsessed with football. It's crazy. That's why okay, so if you do want to get in these drafts, go on to underdogfantasy.com. First deposit from $10 to $100 gets matched 100%. So if you put in $100, another $100 gets put in your account at that same second. Use code FFX54 while you're doing that, and it'll support me, help me get into some more of these drafts. And if we get enough support, we can start getting into Best Ball Mania drafts exclusively. But we're posting these every single day. For the most part, the deal is if we skip a day, we usually hit a Best Ball Mania afterwards. But we're going to continue to do this for the next 2.5 months until the season starts. And I was saying when the season begins, to ramp up and really get going, we'll probably start doing some ranking videos. And then as the season is, officially underway, and for those 18 weeks, or I guess 17 weeks, it really would be, we're going to do weekly rankings for you guys to help you guys out on the waiver wire and in any FanDuel or DraftKings, weekly drafts. So that's the plan. If you guys have any feedback or suggestions of what you want to see, let me know because this is our first season that we're doing this. So we're just really going to play it by ear and see what we can make happen. I will say from the beginning of drafting these Underdog Fantasy drafts to now, we've gotten a lot better. We're far more ready for the actual draft come the redraft leagues come this, I guess probably like August is when we'll start drafting those, and we'll stream those as well. A little different strategy than Best Ball Mania, of course, but yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan, and I'm sticking to it. So my only question to you guys is, who do I pick here at 23-26? Let's start to look. If Saquon Barkley is there, I'm definitely taking him, but there he goes. You're not really expecting him to be there. Nick Chubb, I'll probably go with if he's available. I really like the idea of Leonard Fournette. I don't know. I don't know. For some reason, I'm nervous about him, and I don't know why. Maybe because he's getting older. But that's really not a fair reason. I think he's a really good value at the position you can get him at. Tyreek Hill is here. I do think that he is. We're gonna see if we can do it. This is a little bit of a stretch. I want to get Tyreek Hill and I want Nick Chubb to last to us, but definitely a bit of a risk. I would not be surprised if Chubb goes here. But I did want to go for that shot because I do think Tyreek Hill is a lot better and provides a way higher upside than AJ Brown, Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams. And I'd have to imagine he would have went Tyreek Hill if we didn't take him right there, being that he did go AJ Brown. I just really hope he doesn't take Nick Chubb, but he doesn't. Okay, perfect. So we end up getting both the players we want. So that is absolutely perfect. Nick Chubb is looking really good for a good season right now. Being that it's looking like Deshaun Watson is not going to, I don't think he plays this year at all. So if that's the case, they're going to run this, they're going to run the entire offense through Nick Chubb, or at least as much as possible, which I also think that adds value to Kareem Hunt as well. I've been getting him in as many leagues as possible. But we're really liking this start. Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb, and Tyreek Hill. So I'll probably try to get one more running back. Let's see what range. Probably try to get one more running back next round, depending on how that range looks. And then after that, we're going to try and... I want to say we're going to try and hammer wide receiver, but I'm just going to honestly wait and see what we're looking at. I do think there's a lot of value in grabbing like 4 more receivers and then, before round 10. But we don't draft in pick 2 that much, so we're just going to wait and see what the values look like. I have a general idea of what we want to do. I would love to get Tua for a stack with Tyreek, and I think that would be a really deadly stack that we can punt quarterback for and still pick up on if we wanted to go another running back and like 3 or 4 more receivers. So those are kind of the 2 options here, because the other option is if we get a wide receiver here that we're looking to pair up with a more of an elite status quarterback, then we might end up going a quarterback earlier. After Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce, I'm not usually looking to pick up like the Darren Wallers and George Kittles. I usually would rather just let them go and grab someone more of like Pat Fryermuth, Dawson Knox, and like Goddard. Honestly, I like Schultz over Waller and Kittle. I know that's... I'm not saying the player itself, like in a ranking situation, I'm not saying that Schultz would be over those 2 players, but when those 2 players are compared to their value and where you have to take them, I usually would just rather take the wide receivers in that range and then punt a little bit later to the Dalton Schultz range. But that's just me. That is just me. So I think right now what we're going to do is start looking ahead to 47 and 50. No real runs here. Josh Allen does not survive with the Stephon Diggs team. But other than that, it's pretty much, there's no... It's just alternating between running back and wide receiver. So we're going to continue to wait this out. I might wait till like the Josh Allen 42nd pick and see where we're at and then switch over. But I do feel like we definitely need a wide receiver right here. You're starting to see them go off the board. Let's just wait and see what happens. If Breece Hall is available at ADP, we might take him. I've noticed Jerry Jeudy has been falling a lot more than he usually does lately. I don't know if people are starting to jump ship on the Jerry Jeudy train and going towards the Cortland Sutton train. I know I have kind of made that switch a little bit, not all the way, but a little bit more than I had originally. So, David Montgomery goes. Let's see. I really do want to go like Lamar or Rashad Bateman, to be honest. But we will go. We'll take Cam Akers since he's here. I do like the idea of taking one more running back and then hammering wide receiver after that. Now, the question is if we want to go Allen Robinson, DK Metcalf, or Jerry Jeudy. We're not going to get Lamar, so there's really no point of us going Rashad Bateman. If we take Jerry Jeudy, then we will look for that Russell Wilson stack later on, although I don't know if he will make it to us. That's 77. Yeah, it's definitely possible he makes it back to us. Probable, actually. But Jerry Jeudy does go. DK Metcalf is still available. Patrick Mahomes is still available. We're going to go DK Metcalf. Just because of the talent. It's just the raw talent here. I do. I'm a firm believer that Baker Mayfield makes it to Seattle before the season starts. And if not before, then maybe like after a few weeks when they realize that Geno Smith isn't going to cover it. If Geno Smith is the quarterback, which is what it's looking like currently, DK Metcalf was able to put up some pretty decent stats with him at quarterback last year. So that doesn't really worry me as much either. And I do think that DK Metcalf is far more valuable than Rashad Bateman and Brandon Cooks. Definitely, if you have a stack, then maybe you go those two players. Well, I guess Rashad Bateman, if you have him stacked with Lamar, then he's a little bit more valuable. But we weren't able to get that stack being that we went with Cam Akers. So we audibled over to DK Metcalf. And now we basically have the two big play kings of the league. So that is really nice in a best ball format. I really like the start we have right now. But let's go back to the big board and see what's going on. Wow, look at this team. 5 wide receivers to start. Remember, in these leagues, now that we're not doing super flex, 3 wide receiver scores count every single week. And then you also have the flex. So you can have up to 4 receivers counting for your score every single week. So in super flex, this would be a crazy strategy. But in these normal tournaments, in the one quarterback leagues, this is a very valid strategy. I never do it because I just hate I hate trying to go for 3 valuable running backs in the 6 through 9, in this range. Like I always feel like I'm chasing running back if I go with a wide receiver heavy start. So you usually will see me go pretty running back heavy early on because I think it's easier to find pop-off candidates at the wide receiver position than it is to find them at the running back position. So that's my strategy. That's pretty much always been my strategy. We have some drafts where we have tried to force ourselves to do something like B. Barth did, but I don't think we've ever went 5 in a row. I think the most we've gotten is like 3 out of 4. But that's just me. That's what I prefer. So all these other semi-elite tight ends go. And I say semi-elite because availability is the best ability. And George Kittle, I think, would fall in the elite category talent-wise, but he's been struggling with injuries his entire career, basically. So we don't usually like to invest in him. But if we have Trey Lance, we will. If we have Trey Lance, we will. So Dalton Schultz goes. Is that pretty early? Let's see. D. Bark. It's a little early, but Dalvin Cook, DeAndre Swift, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, Amari Cooper. It's a pretty nice team as well. I really like the Terry McLaurin pick. I think he's undervalued for where he's at based off of the productivity I think he'll have this year. But yeah, 42 ADP. Let's see where he goes compared to other people. Terry McLaurin goes before, or he goes after. Like, I think Terry McLaurin's a better pick than Mike Williams. I think he's a better pick than Michael Pittman. I think he's a better pick than Marquise Brown. I truly think he will come out as the top 10 receiver. Say top 12. We're really not looking for a stack other than Tua right now. Let's see where Tua's going, which he's at like the 129 range. Let's see if that is something that we can shoot for. Not really. I don't want to reach that far, to be honest. But let's focus on this round. See what we got falling to us. Elijah Mitchell, Antonio Gibson, not very interested. What pick are we at? We are at 71. And we'll probably just double up on wide receivers right here. We're going to go with Drake London. And we're hoping for Russell Gage to come back. I really do want to go Miles Sanders, and he is shooting up rankings. Oh my God. He was like, well, maybe not. Never mind. I thought he was at 90, but I think he was at 80 for a while. He has gone up a little bit, but not as much as I thought originally. Russell Gage does make it back, so we're going to go with him. I think he, just based off of the contract he got to come to Tampa Bay and Chris Godwin being out for longer than what originally was expected, and having Tom Brady as a quarterback, I think that Russell Gage is going to be set for a pretty big season for who he was and for the the productivity he had in Atlanta. I think this is going to be. I think people are going to realize what type of talent he is. So I think he's primed for an extremely large role in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. So at this point, I'm really liking our entire wide receiver and running back core. Now we might look to get a quarterback and a tight end if a value falls to us. Probably not tight end. I'm probably looking for quarterback first. I think there's so many good values later on in the 100. I think it's like the 130 range. Let's see. Yeah, like Pat Fryermuth, Gesicki, Irv Smith, Cole Kmet. Like I think that usually I'll take 2 or 3 in this range. That's what I prefer to do at the tight end position when I don't go with Mark Andrews or Travis Kelce. Now you will see me go with them when I can, but after them I usually just let it ride. So let's switch back over to the big board and see what's going on. Russell Wilson goes to no stack here, but we do have a Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase stack. Double quarterback is a little bit interesting, especially when you punted running back for so long. You would think that you would want to go with like a Miles Sanders here. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see that with a Miles Sanders. Now he's. I just don't see how you can wait till the 8th round to pick your first running back and not be chasing it for the entire rest of the draft. Now the argument probably would be made that kind of is the strategy. Just hammer down your core 5 wide receivers, your 2 quarterbacks, and just go like 5 running backs in a row right here. So we'll see what he does. Kind of learn. I want to see how he recovers from waiting this long to take a running back. And he might be comfortable doing this, and this might be something he has a lot of experience with. So we're gonna try and take something from him here and see if we like it. But I will say, having Christian McCaffrey, Chubb, Akers, and Tyreek Hill, Metcalf, Drake London, and Russell Gage, I just feel like I'd rather have my team than his. And if you're going to go heavy in the wide receiver position, I'd like to go more of this strategy to go with like a extremely elite running back, 3 or 4 wide receivers, and then kind of shore up back-to-back running back drafts right around this area. So like instead of going Elijah Mitchell, Treylon Burks, I would go Elijah Mitchell and Miles Sanders probably. This is a very balanced team right here. Derrick Henry, Mike Evans, Kyle Pitts, Deontay Johnson, Lamar Jackson, A.J. Dillon's pretty solid team as well. So coming into this turn, we're looking for values at the quarterback and tight end position, but we're aiming for wide receivers if there's no values available to us. And if T.J. Hawkinson is, I have a feeling he has a value right now, but we will not be taking him. We will not be taking him. I think there's too many options for him to be worth it. Wow, he skips on running back again. So now he might go like 6 running backs in a row. I'm not really sure. I'm very curious to see what he does to finish this draft out. Ken Walker's available. Matt Stafford. We don't have a stack with him, do we? We do not. Let's go forward. See what pick we're at. We're at pick 95. Okay. What do I want to do? We'll go with Goddard. Not happy about it, but we'll do it. I really don't want Matt Stafford without a stack, to be honest with you. I'd rather just wait. And I think my goal here is to go Robert Woods as my next pick. I could go like Dawson Knox and just be done with the tight end position. Let's see what my next pick is at. 119, 122. It's like here. Yeah, I think we're going to go Robert Woods right here. I like that. I think what I'm going to do next turn around, what did I say, 129? 119, 122. I think I'll probably go double quarterback. 119, 122. It's like right here. Not really interested in Kirk Cousins. Take Derek Carr if he's still there, which he probably won't be. I might go like Justin Fields and Tua, to be honest with you, and then shoot for a Cole Kmet stack. Let's see if that will line up. 139. That could work out. So yeah, maybe we'll go Tua and Justin Fields. Just bet on the supporting cast with Tua and bet on the rushing ability with Fields. I've been taking a lot of Fields, by the way. I don't know if you guys are falling in that same boat, but just the rushing upside that he has, it's hard not to take him at the range that he goes at. So that's what we're going to shoot for coming in here. If Justin Fields somehow gets taken, we'll take like Kirk Cousins and Tua. And maybe that's even the better picks than Justin Fields. But we are going for that Cole Kmet stack at pick 12. So maybe not. Maybe not. Let's just see how this works out, though. I'm really not a fan of taking Sky Moore or Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I usually end up taking one of them here and there just because it's kind of a dead zone in the wide receiver position in my eyes. I do like him over like a Tyler Boyd or a Chase Claypool. Him being, honestly, either one of them I like more than those two. So if Robert Woods is gone, then I'll usually go Marquez Valdez-Scantling or Sky Moore. And I think that one of them will end up having a really big role in the deep ball. The deep ball, what am I trying to say? I don't know. When Patrick Mahomes throws the ball far, I think one of them will come out superior and one will probably shrink into the shadows and not really have too much of a role at all. And I don't really know if I want to be involved in taking that bet just because they have so many field stretching pieces that in this range, I don't think I'm really trying to take those shots. Now, later on in like the Van Jefferson range, that's when I start going for my gunners, my speed guys, the field stretching people. But in this range, I'm not really trying to spend that type of draft capital. I'd much rather go with a tight end or a solid running back. Like these are running backs still worth taking. Devin Singletary, Ken Walker. So I usually don't. I try to avoid them if I can. Really, the only receiver I'm comfortable taking in Kansas City is Juju. And even then, I really only go with him when I get Patrick Mahomes. Kirk Cousins goes. I think that's pretty early. Let's see. Where's our team at? Where's our guy? This guy? Yeah, so he wants Devin Singletary. He's got to go another running back right here. He's got to. Because you get to a certain point with the running backs that they just are useless. Like they're unless there's an injury, they're not going to contribute pretty much anything. So that's why I don't like. I mean, I'm really surprised he ended up going double quarterback and tight end before any running backs. I just don't think you can recover from that. I really don't. Yeah, I like this team. I like what he's doing. Jonathan Taylor, Elijah Mitchell, Ken Walker at running back, and then he has 4 elite receivers, Traylon Burks, and then he stacked Matt Stafford with Allen Robinson. I really like that. Oh, shoot, we're up. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Justin Fields is probably gonna be our first pick right here. And I like this because these receivers start to die off for me. So I like just going double quarterback here. Getting that out of the way. Hopefully he doesn't reach on Tua because that's my plan. He already has a quarterback, so I don't think he will. He'll probably just go tight end or wide receiver. Or I guess. He doesn't. He goes Ronald Jones, and I guess we probably should start looking at running backs ourselves. Maybe next round we'll double up and go. Like I would love to get Naheem Hines and maybe Michael Carter, but we'll see. Right now we're gonna go Tua. So our quarterbacks are set. We got two. Oh no, we're trying to go Cole Kmet next round, aren't we? 139. Yeah, we're trying to go Cole Kmet. If he falls, though, I mean, that's asking that he'll fall 4 ADP spots. And I think people are kind of tuned in on the fact that Cole Kmet, I think he had like 5+ targets a game last year and didn't have a very high touchdown efficiency rate. So I think a lot of people see that Cole Kmet is primed for a lot better of a season. Justin Fields is 1 year further into the league at this point. If Cole Kmet's touchdown percentage goes up at all, he shoots up in ranking. He's he's probably the second option in that offense behind Darnell Mooney. So I really do like making the bet on Cole Kmet, especially when you have the Justin Fields stack. I could see that Cole Kmet finishes in this Zach Ertz, Dawson Knox range as far as value goes, but I don't know. I think Zach Ertz I think his value is extremely overrated. I pretty much never take Zach Ertz. I maybe have taken him like once, but in that range, if you don't get Dawson Knox, I don't think it's worth reaching. Well, I guess it's a reach in my eyes, not as far as ADP goes, but I don't really like reaching on Zach Ertz, especially because Marquise Brown is there now. Rondale Moore is looking good. DeAndre Hopkins will come back after week 6. And there's AJ Green is there as well. I don't know. I don't like the value that I see in Zach Ertz. So this guy goes Pat Fryermuth. He does it. This guy is stressing me out. Devin Single and Ramondre Stevenson are not good enough to be your top 2 backs. You need some more backs. And when you take TJ Hawkinson here instead of a running back, you can't take Pat Fryermuth right away at pick 11. Because, I mean, what are these running backs now? Yeah, now you're in like the backup range. Rashad White, Naheem Hines, Darrell Henderson, Isaiah Spiller, Michael Carter, Tyler Algier, Kenneth Gainwell. These are not starting backs. These you cannot count on these backs for scores every single week. So I think that guy's team is pretty down and out at this point. Now, that being said, the upside to that strategy is that if someone does go down, like a Leonard Fournette or a Cam Akers in my case, then all of a sudden he has a starting running back at an extreme value, and then pair that with the elite wide receiver core that he started off with, and that could win you a season. So it's not saying that it doesn't work. It just makes me very uncomfortable to draft my team like that. I would much rather bet on the running back position early. Obviously, I guess. So Naheem Hines go. I can't talk today, so you got to forgive me. But Naheem Hines goes pretty early, ahead of ADP. I think we are looking to take a running back here before it gets way too far. I'm just deciding if I would even want a Darrell Henderson. I probably should take him. And like a Michael Carter. No, Darrell Henderson and Cole Kmet. Keep forgetting. Psych. We're really hoping Cole Kmet falls to us here. But this team has 0 wide or tight end, so expect him to go. Go ahead. Take him. Yep. Knew that was happening. That's unfortunate. We're going to go Jahan Dotson here. We're hoping for Michael Carter Jr. to get back to us. This team, I'm not really sure. They probably are going to start looking at wide receivers again here soon. So we might. Where'd he go with? Alberto. He goes tight end. That's fine. And Josh Palmer. Yeah, so we'll go Michael Carter Jr. Here. We're really punting tight ends, but with this strat where we're punting them as far as we are, we're definitely going to go with 3 tight ends. And I'm totally fine with that. I've said it once and I'll say it. I'll keep saying it. I think Braven Jordan is a great pick that you can get at probably pick 17 or round 17 for us. I like Hunter Henry in this, as we get deeper, I like Austin Hooper. So I think if you're going 3 tight ends, I'm totally fine punting them as late as we are. Especially when it means we can take Jahan Dotson, who was a 16th overall pick. At wide receiver, shore that the wide receiver room up a little bit. Go Michael Carter. Since we didn't get Cole Kmet. Now, if we got Cole Kmet, we would have went Cole Kmet and Michael Carter. But I don't really think that Alberto is worth. Once Cole Kmet left, I was basically in the operating as if we're just punting tight end. Now, we are in the market for, at this point, basically the strat moving forward is take a value at running back and tight end as a priority. And if there's an extreme value at wide receiver that falls to us, we'll take that. But, we're done in the quarterback room, and we're really just looking for the values that fall to us and the players that we like. And we'll just let our picks decide themselves for us. We're not going to get too cute trying to assign running back or assign positions to certain picks. We're just going to take the value that falls to us at this point. I'm really comfortable in pretty much all of our positions. If you look at our team, the quarterback position has Justin Fields and Tua stacked with Tyreek Hill down here. We have Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb, Cam Akers, and Michael Carter at running back. Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Drake London, Russell Gage, Robert Woods, and Jahan Dotson at wide receiver, and then Dallas Goedert at tight end. So we have some anchor players at every position, so I'm pretty comfortable, and I'm willing to just take the value that falls. We are 9 picks away. I want to keep an eye on this team. I'm just so curious what he's doing. He went Isaiah Spiller and then took another wide receiver. At this point, he has Devin Singletary, Ramondre Stevenson, and Isaiah Spiller as his running backs. So if Damian Harris goes down, or if Ramondre Stevenson takes over the role in New England, and if Austin Eckler went down, then this team would be looking like a juggernaut because they have 2 solid quarterbacks, 2 solid tight ends, 5 solid wide receivers. But you're basically banking this entire league on a couple of injuries, a couple of very specific injuries. Now, if this was a tournament style, I think that this team would make a little bit more sense to go for that extreme value in running back and then just hammer in your solid receivers. But when you're just trying to win a 12-person league, I just don't think that this is the strategy. Now, I will say this is my first year, and I don't really know what strategies work for sure or not. That's why we're trying to diversify our teams a little bit and go with different strats here and there just so we can look back on the season and see what worked and what didn't. So that's the idea. But I got to go with my gut this year and pick the teams how I want to pick them and how I see fit. and then we will analyze the results and the strategies at the end of the year when we have a little bit more data, confirming or denying our theories with these strategies, and then we'll move from there. We will move from there. So we are going to be pick 167, 3 picks ahead of us. Let's go to the board. It's looking like, what is it looking like? What is it looking like? 167. Daniel Jones is falling. Khalil Herbert is falling. So if Khalil Herbert is there, maybe we just take him. Yeah, we'll take Khalil Herbert if he's there. Yeah, so we'll go Khalil Herbert. Now at this point, our running back room is done. We're good with that. We're gonna move to tight end for our next pick and go David Njoku if we can. I'll tell you why in a second. So the reason I like David Njoku here over Cameron Brate and Noah Fant is because I don't think that Cameron Brate starts the season as tight end one. I will say the logic of him being the tight end one for Tom Brady this upcoming season is extremely attractive, and I don't blame you if you want to take him. I just don't. We saw last year Cameron Brate and OJ Howard playing without Robert Gronkowski, and he did not put up the numbers that you would have hoped to have seen. So I think they go out and find the tight end that they want to be their tight end one, and I think that Cameron Brate kind of falls away into the shadows as he did last year. So I'm not really, that's my gut, and that's how I feel the Bucks will move forward at that position. So as much as I want to take him, I just can't because I don't think he plays that role for that offense. So, and that in combination with David Njoku getting that massive extension for the Browns, I don't really care that Jacoby Brissett's going to be the quarterback. I'm still fine with going David Njoku. And he probably is the second receiving option in that offense behind Amari Cooper. Now, I could see David, it sounds like David Bell is a very solid prospect and is kind of stepping up into the role of wide receiver too. So, who knows how he will be in the league, but I think that David Njoku starts off the league, and he may very well end the season as the wide receiving 2 option for Jacoby Brissett. So, that's a bad quarterback situation to be involved with, but at the same time, Noah Fant, he was another tight end in that range. He is a little bit worse of a quarterback situation. So that was a thought process there. Now, if Noah Fant is still available on the way back through, we will take him, which he probably won't be because we're 13 picks away. But we are looking for another tight end, which might end up being Austin Hooper, might end up being Hayden Hurst or Evan Ingram. But that was wait. Whoa! I can't talk today. Oh my god. I don't know. I didn't sleep last night, so let's just blame it on that. But that's the strategy, is what I was saying. Because we have 3 picks left. We need another tight end and then 2 more wide receivers to round this team out. And I'm not really stressed on the tight ends, to be honest with you. I'm pretty comfortable with all of our positions, and I'm perfectly happy taking Hayden Hurst, Braven Jordan, Austin Hooper as my 3rd tight end. Any of them work fine for me, and then probably gonna shoot for like a Nico Collins or Justin Mechie. John Mechie. Wow, he is falling. Is there news for John Mechie's injury? Because now remember that John Mechie was a 1st-round draft pick this past year. Medical team played role in Texans' selection of John Mechie. Took one wrong step during the December 4th. He got a ACL tear. Drops major injury update. April. Hello? So John Mechie says he's going to be ready in July. I don't think I buy that. That's really early to come back for a ACL tear. You feel me? Yeah, I don't know about that, but I mean, Nico Collins originally was going way further down than he is now. A lot of people are liking Nico Collins at this point, and he is continuing to shoot up the rankings. I think he was in like the 210 range for a couple weeks ago, not that long ago, and John Mechie was a lot higher. Maybe John Mechie's in the same spot. Nico Collins though has been going up because the idea is that John Mechie is going to be recovering from his ACL injury, and Nico Collins will be the wide receiver too. And he's been looking really good in practice and all that, but I just don't know if this is an overreaction to some of those reports because the offseason reports you got to be careful with. Everyone's bored, everyone's looking for a story, and they just start reporting pretty much anything they can find, which means they start to exaggerate stuff to sell the story and make it sound important. And the ADP on these players adjust accordingly. So I don't know if Nico Collins is worth it as he climbs the rankings in ADP. I think 191 is a little bit high for him. And I think I would much rather just wait and get John Mechie at that point. I'm really hoping Hayden Hurst falls to us here. Now, they both, yeah, I was going to say they both need a tight end, so probably not. Yeah, we're going to go. God, we take so much John Mechie. We're going John Mechie here, and then we're gonna try to go Logan Thomas. I notice a lot of my drafts end that way, going Logan Thomas as a third tight end and John Mechie as like one of the later receivers. I think in this range, it's a lot more valuable to try to take a shot on a rookie than it is to take a shot on a vet, unless they're a free agent. But like, I think that John Mechie has a lot higher probability of succeeding this year than Devin Duvernay or Kendrick Bourne because we kind of know what they are already. But John Mechie has the element of surprise, which lets us get him at a value. Jared Goff is still available, but we're not interested. We are going for Logan Thomas. Yeah. Now, a lot of you might be wondering, or some of you might be wondering, why Rob Gronkowski is still being drafted, even though he announced his retirement. Um, but you have to remember that Rob Gronkowski he's done this before. When he was threatened to be traded to the Lions, I believe, he threatened retirement as well. Because he's in a position where if he's not playing with Tom Brady, he's not playing. And, he was trying to negotiate his contract and it might have not been going the way he was expecting it to or wanted it to. So this could be him just threatening to retire, say he's retiring, and then hopefully stringing out some more money from the Bucks. Who really knows? His agent even said that he would field phone calls regarding his retirement if Tom Brady calls him. So, and that's another reason why I wasn't getting super excited on Cameron Brate because there is even the possibility of Rob Gronkowski coming back anyways. So, I really don't want to be involved with that. Really not interested. Now, I will say if either one of them starts the year as a tight end one for Tom Brady, they're going to get an extreme value for where you can get them at. So that's the upside that you're betting on if you take either one of them. I just don't want to make that bet personally. Now, we will be the second to last pick of this draft. And we will definitely be looking for a 8th receiver here. What is our... yeah, we have Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Drake London, Russell Gage, Robert Woods. So, wow. Week 11 is looking rough for us, though. Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, and Russell Gage all gone. The only time that a bye week really affects my draft is if I'm drafting like two quarterbacks and they both have a bye on the same week. Other than that, I really just take the players I want, and if we just lose week 11, we lose week 11. I'd rather have the player that we want and just count one of the weeks out for a bye week, like if all those buys line up like they do. Than picking like making picks based off of buys. I personally don't like taking putting that much stock into the bye weeks. What does this say? Held out of June minicamp. Okay. For what? CJ John. Ooh. Damn, I like this team a lot. All right. 7 picks away. We're looking for a eighth and final wide receiver. I guess what is that pick like 215? We'll probably end up going with Brian Edwards, to be honest with you. Maybe we go Byron Pringle. Actually, we'll go Byron Pringle just because we have Justin Fields and we get that stack just in case that he is better than expected. Let's see, Chicago Bears. Why Dallas depth chart. Yeah, see, this is what I was looking is I didn't know if Velus Jones ended up surpassing Byron Pringle in the depth chart because it sounds like Velus Jones is looking really good as well. He's another rookie that has been getting really good reports in camp. So that's what I was looking to see if he leapt over him yet, which he hasn't. So we'll continue to take Byron Pringle over Velus Jones. Looks like someone might have already taken him. Yeah, he went at 205. What did this team end up doing? Devin Singletary, Ramondre Stevenson, Isaiah Spiller, Brian Robinson. They only went with 4 running backs, and those are the 4 they went with. I just don't see how this team can work out. Unless there's an injury. Yeah, there's his 5th. I mean, it's almost like he's drafting like something we don't know. Because, I don't know. I don't know how you can go through a season with those being your top guys. Boop. That's our boy. Mitchell Trubisky. Okay. All right, so we go. Wait, what? All right, maybe not. Nah, we'll go with it. I didn't know that he had that. He had that case from earlier. Now that I saw it, I remember seeing it like on Instagram when it first happened, but I forgot about it, which might be why you're getting such a value on him. And I would have to think that for that type of arrest, I don't know if he's going to get, he might get like 3 or 4 games, but I don't think it's going to be anything substantial. And being that we have Justin Fields and he's our last wide receiver pick, then I'm okay with going with him because when he does come back, maybe that is baked into his ADP, so we end up getting a value like the day he comes back. So, Our final team ends up being Justin Fields, Tua at quarterback, running backs Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb, Cam Akers, Michael Carter, and Khalil Herbert. Wide receiver Tyreek Hill stacked with Tua, DK Metcalf, Drake London, Russell Gage, Robert Woods, Jahan Dotson, John Mechie, and then Byron Pringle stacked with Justin Fields. And then Dallas Goedert, David Njoku, Logan Thomas at our tight end position. You notice we went with a lot of rookies in our wide receiver core. I think that allows you to have extreme values. You know, if you get the guy that if you get the wide receiver that ends up popping off, especially if you're a Drake London or a Jahan Dotson, or I guess really any of these guys, because all of them were actually first round draft picks. So if you end up, if these picks end up working out, they can really work out very well, just like the Amon-Ra St. Brown example that I keep using. But, he was league winners that people picked up in the second to last round of last year's draft. And, he's pretty much on every league winning team in those tournaments from last year. So I really like this team. We continue to get better and better as we go. So we're going to keep getting into these every single day. Until a new puppy draft comes out, we're going to do these 12-team fantasy drafts. And then when we miss a day, which usually we miss like one day a week, we will get into a Best Ball Mania draft. And I think the next Best Ball Mania draft we get into, we should make a rule to not take Lamar Jackson, because the only two Best Ball Mania drafts we've done so far, we've taken Lamar Jackson, because I like him I really like him this year, but I do want to diversify that a little bit. So stay tuned. If you want to sign up for Underdog Fantasy, go to underdogfantasy.com. Any deposit from $10 to $100 gets matched 100%. So if you put in $100, you get another $100 that same second. If you do so, use code FFX54 to support me and help me get into some more of these Best Ball Mania drafts. But until then, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys are having a fantastic holiday weekend, eating some good food, seeing some family, hanging out with some friends. But until tomorrow, I will see you guys. Peace out, and everyone have a great night.